Yo, what's up YouTube? If you're new here, my name is Danny James, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to color grade raw music video footage instead of Adobe Premiere. If you do end up enjoying this video, kindly give it a like and subscribe if you're watching me for the first time, and turn on the post notification bell so that you never miss out on my content. Okay, we're in Premiere and this is the clip that I want us to grade quickly. I'll just drag it into this box right here so that it can create a new sequence. Automatically it creates a sequence out of that. Now we want to find just somewhere you get all the details for this picture. In this regard, I think this is the best shot which we can begin grading. I'll simply open my Lumetri color tab, and I also make sure I have my Lumetri scopes. That way they are right here so that you can look at them in case we need to refer. Just click on your clip and then you can begin tweaking some of these settings. I'll go right on my basic corrections. Before we do anything right here, we want to create contrast by going to the curves. Within the curves, you want to introduce contrast into the image. Right at this place, this is for the shadows. So if I raise this up, this is the shadows, and this other end is for the highlights. The highlights are the brightest parts of the picture. So to add some good contrast, just add 2 points like that, and then try to make something like an S. So drop this one down and then this one up. I'll make sure this clip shows more than everything else. So you can see without the curve, with a curve. Now don't try to rush through this process, just try to see how the different colors affect the image, and keep on tweaking these until you find you have some good contrast. When you have this good S, you can go on and try changing these other points just to see what else you're able to get out of these. There is no one way to do this. Just work out your graph and bring your points closer or further from each other to get some good definite contrast. Now once you're done with the curves, you can go to the basic corrections. Under basic corrections, let's work on the white balance. On the white balance, just try to pick this pen and find a gray point. Once you're able to find a gray, it will automatically change these parameters. So if it doesn't look good, pick the pointer again and then find another gray spot, maybe like this one. This is a good gray. You can see it didn't do much. It changed the temperature by 7 and reduced the tint by 0.1. Once you have that established, you can also change these values manually, but I will undo that. I'll go to light so that you can change the exposure, the blacks and the whites. I'll play with the shadows first, reduce them so that there is more contrast, and then I'll also go to the blacks. I'll try to make our blacks more black, and then you can increase your highlights if you want to. That looks okay. You can check your progress of the corrections that you're making by disabling and enabling. So these are our basic corrections. If we go back to our curves, if we disable it, so you're really able to determine what you are doing. I'll enable curves and enable basic corrections again, and then I want to look at my exposure now. That looks good. If I disable everything within the Lumetri by hitting FX here, I can see where we were before and where we are at right now. So far, I like what we've been able to come up with. Again, as I usually say in my other videos, there is no one way of getting it right. This is just a guideline that you can use such that when you're trying to tweak your settings, you have like somewhere to benchmark against. If you're able to follow through with these steps, you can honestly get through with anything. So I can see the colors look good. Once you're done with the basic corrections and the curves, we can go on to tweaking specific colors. Like this area with the wall, I'd like to make it more vibrant. So I'll go to my HSL secondary. How it works, it has an eyedropper tool which detects the color. So I'll pick the plus just to tell it the colors that I want. In order for you to know where you've highlighted, you just need to enable this checkbox so that you can look at the mask. So you can do that to enable and disable, and you can tweak between color and gray, color and black, or white. So once right here, I will go with these around the wall just to make sure it gets the selection that I want. I'll also go to maybe the farthest point, and then I will now enable the mask to see the points which it has highlighted, and you can really see it. Now once that is enabled, we now come to correct that color. I can directly go to adding saturation, which adds color to this wall at 0. And then when I increase the saturation, this is what it looks like. I can alternatively undo that and then come to these colors right here and try to give it a definite color that I want. So if I wanted some red or something trippy, this is what I will do, but I will go for the color that is almost matching the wall itself. So I'll disable everything just to see the wall, and then I enable. I think this is a good color. Let's see if we undo the HSL. With the HSL, that looks good. Now I'd like to do another HSL on the kids t-shirt, but we can't do it on the same layer. So what I'll do, I'll come back to this clip, go to the effect controls, right on our effect controls on Lumetri color. So this is the one that we've adjusted. You can simply rename it, hit OK. Now I'd like us to add another layer of Lumetri color. So go to your effects, manually type in Lumetri, and then add it to the clip. Go to the effect controls for this other one. Now we can start tweaking it from scratch. On this other Lumetri, we just need to go to the HSL, highlight the t-shirt. We can use the mask to see if it has highlighted everything that we want within the t-shirt. You can disable the mask so that you can see the entire frame. You can zoom in and then just make sure to go around the t-shirt. And if we see the mask, that looks good. I'll go back to 100% and then find the red here. If I disable, you can see the t-shirt without, the t-shirt with the HSL secondary. So those are some of the things that you can watch out when trying to grade raw footages like this. Just look at particular colors, whether they're in the shot, and if they are useful, you can go ahead with it. If I scroll through this video, I'm liking the colors already. If we are to compare with what it looked before, we'll just disable these settings. So we came from here to adding a base and then adding some extra HSL on the kid. You can also add more Lumetri colors if you need to specify other items. As I showed you, you can even correct other things. If it's within this second Lumetri color, you can go to the colors and fix shadows and every other details that you need to. Okay, like if I reduce the shadows on this second one, it actually looks better. I'll increase it just a tad bit, but overall it looks like a really great image. Now that way you can come back to your effect controls, hold control and click on these two settings and then save them as a preset. So we can name these Tropical Raw. Now if you go to your effects, you should find that Lumetri preset under the presets. And if I was to drag other clips maybe onto the timeline, you see like this clip, it's shot by the same camera under the same settings. If we apply the preset just from our effects, it already looks good. The picture looks really good. We haven't had to do any extra work since we did it initially. Now one more thing that I'd like to add onto this tutorial is that you can even add LUTs into your videos. While selected on this clip, I'll go to my creative tab and you can add LUTs in case you have any. You can also find some from my digital store at dannyjames.co. I have like 4 different categories of LUTs that you can choose from. I'll just try one from the store. Maybe under the sci-fi pack, you can click on Hyperdream. Okay, you see the way it looks. You just need to reduce the intensity like that. And you're at 40 without that LUT, with the LUT. I highly recommend the sci-fi pack. It's for futuristic kind of looks. It has 30 of them. This is just one that I could try. And as I always say with my LUTs, if you reduce the intensity and you're still not getting the color that you're looking for, go back to the basic corrections and then you want to adjust the white balance. You can tweak it to any side to accommodate the LUT. I'll try one more LUT before we complete this video under the director's music video LUTs, which has 9 of them. Maybe we can try the Megatron. You can reduce the intensity if it's a bit too much. Without the grade, with the grade, not much of a difference, but it takes it very far from what we had originally. So you can do that and experiment with other LUTs in case you need to, but it's not necessary as long as you've done your grade. I hope you did enjoy this video as much as I did prepping it for you. Feel free to check out my digital store at dannyjames.co. I have preset packs and LUTs that you might find useful. My name is Danny James. See you on the next tutorial. Peace.